Do you think you can solve somebody's problem in one session? Now, if the answer is yes, then I would hope that you are charging significantly for that. But if the answer is most of the time is no, then why do we base our businesses predominantly on the pay-as-you-go model?
Welcome to the Treat Your Business podcast, the show for clinic owners who want real, honest advice and tried and tested ways of doing things. I'm Katie Bell, and this is the new era of bigger insights and bolder conversations to help you grow a clinic and a life you love. Let's dive in.
The how. We've talked so far about the why we are running this business. We've talked about who we can help, who we are the experts at helping, what is our niche, our avatar, our ideal client, all the same thing that allows us to really stand out in our industry, stand out in terms of creating impactful marketing. The third key foundation that I'd like to introduce you to is the how. And this is one of the 4 key principles that we like to go through with all business owners before we can cover marketing, before we can look at forecasting and accounting and bringing in all that kind of next level business stuff. We want to get clear on how we can work with people in a creative way that creates consistent income for you as the business owner, but doesn't always mean that you have to be delivering face-to-face treatment or classes to be able to make the money you want to make. And it's a way of you all looking at how we can help our patients and our clients in a creative way, how we can facilitate their treatment, their rehab or their recovery, how we can solve their problems in the best possible way, but also create a business model that is going to support us rather than starve us of time and energy and freedom. So I'm going to ask you a question first of all. Do you think you can solve somebody's problem in one session? Now, if the answer is yes, then I would hope that you are charging significantly for that. But if the answer is most of the time is no, then why do we base our businesses predominantly on the pay-as-you-go model? Most business owners that we start working with are running their business purely on a sort of single session model because that's just all they know, that's just all they've ever done. And most businesses in our industry, particularly in the UK and Ireland, are running that similar model. So we've just all followed suit. And it then comes with some sort of anxiety around if we were to sell programs or packages of treatment, is that going to make us look salesy? Are we trying to sell something to somebody that they don't really need? And the absolute answer always is you never sell anything to anybody if they don't really need it. We always lead from professionalism. But what I'm really passionate about is that if we have problems or pains that we can solve, how can we facilitate that recovery or that treatment or that rehab by creating programs or packages that best allow our clients to get the results that they're looking for? So I want you to think about some of the roadblocks that are often in the way to patient recovery. We hear all the time, I just don't have the time. Or we say, I'm going to start my exercises, and then after a few weeks I feel a bit better, so I'll stop doing my exercises. Or it might be that they haven't got the access to the gym or to get to as many classes as they want to be at. There's always roadblocks that get in the way of our patients' recovery. And our job is to know those so that we can create ways of supporting our clients' recovery without those roadblocks even being a problem. So this is, again, thinking about ways that you could stand out in your industry, stand out as a clinic, as a business, as a studio, is that you can create programs of treatment, create packages of treatment, create ways that you can work with people that solve their problems in a creative way. It doesn't always have to be delivered face-to-face. It could be that you create online elements to the way that you want to work with clients. Again, based on what you know your clients need. If they don't need it, we don't sell them it. Okay? So if you think about having patients on your client list on a pay-as-you-go model, ultimately, you cannot predict one day to the next day in your business. So it isn't a very resilient business model, because if the snow falls overnight, you lose a whole day of income. If the COVID pandemic, what we saw is that a lot of us had to close our doors, but a lot of us just suddenly saw a huge, big, complete drop-off, cancellation of everything. Okay, so we haven't got a resilient business model if we're only running pay-as-you-go, because we can't predict from one day to the next day. Because it's very easy for people to cancel. It's very easy for people to drop off their treatment. You'll all have patients, I'm sure, on your client list that you may have been seeing for several weeks, and then all of a sudden they have to ring and cancel, and then you never see them again. And it's often not because that their pain or problem has gone away, it's that life has just taken over. Something else has got in their way, and their health has dropped on the priority list down to maybe 6th, 7th, 8th place. If you're running a pay-as-you-go model, and we can't predict day to day, week to week, month to month, you've got no idea about what marketing we need to be doing, because we don't know how many slots we're trying to fill, because we're so unpredictable with just being reliant on whoever books and then turns up for their appointment. So we've then got what we call a big churn rate, which means that you're constantly having to fill in the top of the bucket as people leave at the bottom. Now, you're always going to have clients that leave, because you should be getting people better. Some clients will want to work with you on a long period of time, because they'll be thinking about maintenance, or they'll be, I hate that word, but they'll be thinking about how they stay well once you have got them well. So how can we create ways of working with people that facilitates that? How can we create ways of working with people that we can predict our income weeks and months ahead? I'm going to give you an example in our business, in my physiotherapy and wellness business. I believe that anybody that wants to do Pilates because they want to reduce their back pain, or they want to increase their flexibility, or they want to get stronger, or they want to strengthen their pelvic floor, any of those problems, I absolutely believe that they are not going to see the results that they're looking for in anything less than 12 weeks, 12 sessions. I don't believe that people can do Pilates for 6 sessions and genuinely feel and see the difference. There's no doubt after one Pilates class that they're going to be feeling a bit better. They might be moving a bit better. They might just feel good for the fact they're actually doing something about it. But what we believe is that people need to be doing it consistently. So because that's what we stand for, our business model is aligned with that. We have ways of working with people on what we call a kickstart program. So this allows them to build up their trust factor with us, so know and trust, which is going to give them the results that they're looking for. We solve problems creatively. We look at roadblocks that will get in the way for them turning up to class, or for doing their second workout in the week because they can't get to class because they're too busy. We have an on-demand library. We have ways of working with people that facilitate the best results possible. It also means that we are really clear in our marketing about how many people we are looking for, because we know exactly how many slots we have available, which then allows us to dictate how much we spend on our marketing and analyse the results we're getting from our marketing based on the number of clients or patients that we are then getting booked onto our Kickstart programme. So once people have worked with us for 12 weeks, we can then bring them into our monthly Pilates membership, which is a year-long commitment, but they pay it over a monthly basis. So it makes it very accessible. It makes it affordable for people, but it also provides and facilitates the best way of working so that they get the results that they're looking for. For me, Pilates is something that people should do forever. It's not something that they start and then just do it for 12 weeks and stop. So you've got to think about what you believe in, what you stand for, and how you want to facilitate your clients' recovery in the best possible way. Another example is if somebody comes to work with you and they have a sports massage, okay? And they just come in for one. Now, do you think one session is going to solve that person's problem? It could be that they're stressed. It could be that they're not sleeping. It could be that they've got severe shoulder pain. It could be that they've got an ongoing back problem. If you, as the physiotherapist or the osteopath or the Pilates instructor or whatever it is, don't genuinely believe that you can solve it in one session, then it's your duty to show them and explain to them what you feel like they need to get the results that they're looking for. And it's what we call the state A to state B transformation. State A is what they're struggling with, what they're suffering from right now. State B is what they're looking to achieve, what they want to be able to do, how they want to feel. Because people will buy themselves out of a problem and into a solution. They won't buy the solution. So we said this in episode 2 and episode 1, people are not looking for 12 Pilates classes, or they're not looking for 3 massages. They're just looking to get away from the problem that they've got. And our job is to say to them, for you to get from state A to state B, this is how I think we need to work. Okay? If you believe that pay as you go, one session at a time is what they need, then you keep that business model in your business. But it isn't going to create sustainable, consistent revenue for you. It's going to be very sporadic, very up and down, and very hard for you to predict, and therefore allow you to take a consistent income out of your business when all the expenses have been paid. Working on the how also influences your retention rate, your ability to keep clients in your business in that bucket. It influences your conversion rate, your ability to take somebody from that inquiry to working with you as a client and as an ongoing client. Okay, and that influences your revenue. So if you've got somebody working with you on a 12-week program, you can predict your income for 12 weeks. Because you can have a payment plan, you could have a pay in full option, but ultimately they're coming into a contract with you to work with you to get X, Y, and Z at the other end. Okay? And there's no guarantees, is there? If we could guarantee it, we'd all be millionaires. We can't guarantee, but what we can guarantee is that we will do our very best to get them the results that they're looking for. But there's a lot of variables in the way. And we try and deal with those variables, which are people not doing their exercises or people forgetting to turn up to their appointment. We put things into our programs and our packages that influence and support people's recovery. So this is solving problems creatively, and it doesn't always have to be face-to-face. If you've got people working with you for 12 weeks and you therefore charge, I don't know, let's say £500 for somebody working with you over that 12-week program, then you can work out what income you want to make and how many people you need buying into your 12-week program to get that income out the bottom. And it probably will work out something like, I don't know, let's say 10 clients in a month, okay? 10 people paying you £500 to make £5,000 income, okay? If you've got people on a pay-as-you-go model, you're thinking about, if I'm charging £50, how many of those do I need to do to make £5,000? Okay, and the number is a huge amount more. So instantly, it's harder for us to make that income than it is if we were working with less people and perhaps working with them in a better way. We're creating better, what I call conditions for delivery. If you're running a pay-as-you-go model, your conditions for delivery are poor, they are low, because you're charging that client, say, £30, £40, £50. The conditions for delivery are probably half an hour of your time for you to assess them, treat them, write them an exercise plan, write your notes up afterwards, send them an email or whatever it is that you've promised. And we do overpromise in our sessions, don't we? And so what ends up happening is that you end up writing your exercise plans at night time, and it takes you half an hour, but the client has only been charged for half an hour of your time. So actually you've just halved your hourly rate because you're spending an extra half an hour working on the exercise program or writing the diet plan or whatever it is. That cost should be passed on to our patients. But rather than us thinking it's really difficult to charge a client when we're not actually seeing them face to face, we incorporate it into the way we work with clients. It doesn't always have to be 12 sessions at £50 and therefore the investment is £600. It can be your program price is 600, and within that, you're going to get a bespoke exercise plan. You're going to get 8 treatment sessions. You're going to get access to our on-demand library. You're going to get accountability check-ins from our team every other week to make sure that you stay on track with your exercises. It's whatever you think your clients need to get the results that they are looking for, but also it optimizes the conditions for delivery. So the likelihood of them getting great results is better. You then have boundaries to work with your patients in, which means that you're going to give better treatment because you've got the ability to give better treatment and deliver better outcomes for your clients. So the third really key foundation, once we've looked at the why, once we've looked at who we want to work with, it's then the how. I want you to think about, what model are you running in your business right now? Is it serving you or is it starving you? Is this business model something that you might want to look at changing so we can introduce new ways of working with our clients that deliver the best possible results? If you're delivering better conditions, if you're able to then treat them in a better way and optimize their results, that is going to increase your reputation, which is going to mean more people want to work with you. So it's our duty as a health professional, if I think my clients need XYZ, I must tell them that. I do it in a professional way. I absolutely put the needs of the client first, but I also then think about how I can facilitate their recovery and their rehab in the best possible way. So they can put their health on the priority list and they can make sure they stick with the plan and get what they want out the other end so that their investment, they get a return on their investment. We, over the coming episodes, are going to look at state A to state B transformations. We're going to look at how to solve problems creatively. We're going to map out the roadblocks together. We're going to look at how you price your program. We're going to look at how you name your program. We're going to look at how you market your program. And we're going to look at how you deliver your program and write your standard operating procedures around your programs. So keep listening in future episodes because we're going to take this big category, this third foundation, and break it down into lots of bite-sized chunks that you can work through, and therefore you can transform the way that your business model is currently set up so that it provides you with the income and the time and the ability to deliver amazing results for your clients.
Thanks for listening to the Treat Your Business podcast. Hit subscribe now and keep joining me for bigger insights, bolder conversations to help you build a clinic and a life you love.